I speak with corrupted tongue.
Recognize the underworld since I was young. Recognize the underworld since I was young. Recognize the underworld since I was young. I speak with corrupted tongue. Recognize the underworld since
Here we are. Yet another episode, another chapter, we came to win. Corrupted Conversations, this is what it is. I go by Henry Blanco, aka Young Mariah Carey, cause I'm wild, beautiful in the face, aka Young Oprah Winfrey, only when I file my taxes, aka Young Angie Martinez, the voice of New York, the new voice of New York, 5 seconds away from booking an illegal flight. An illegal flight to either Colombia or the Dominican Republic to get illegal facial surgery so I could come back to the tri-state and the rest of the world if need be and looking like a young Angie Martinez. This is what it is. The voice of New York, young immortal, the voice can never die. You feel me? Corrupted Conversations. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting thus far. Shout out to everybody who sends it, shares, likes, comments, sends it to their mother, their father, that they tia, the Bronx Zoo. Send that shit to everybody, you heard? Let the Bronx Zoo know they not the only species with animalistic behavior. At Corrupted, we roam wild as well. What we have here is a photographer, a tastemaker, a visionary, a low-rider themed experience connoisseur. You feel me? An artist as a whole. Now, I do like a cute little WWF entrance for my guest, but what I'm gonna need you to do is tell the world what your name is, what you go by, where you from, and have you ever been to the Koba Mayan village?
Wow, that was a great intro,
You
man.
feel me? You feel me?
Thank you. That was amazing. That was epic.
Come on. What is your name? What do you go by, gang?
My name is Wendy Random. I'm from LA. I've been a photographer for many years. If you want to be realistic, since I was a kid, I've been shooting photos. Professionally, it's been at least 15 years. Wow. I became an event curator in New York. So that's something that I never thought was going to be on my lineup. But now I'm doing it. So now I curate events.
We gonna talk about it. Hold on. Relax. We gonna talk about it all. With Wendy Random from LA, God, this is what it is. Have you ever been to the Koba Mayan village?
Yes, I have. How
was it?
It was amazing. It was awesome. I went up the pyramid. Almost fell down the pyramid.
Almost fell down.
Luckily, they got rope you could hold on.
Okay, so out the rope.
Yeah, but I've been there. Amazing experience. It's nice to be walking on sacred land. Areas where my ancestors, I'm from Mexican descent.
Love it.
It's amazing to be there and experience the culture that still sits there. So it was amazing. Yeah, I've been there maybe about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. We love to hear it. So this is what it is. Again, Corrupted Conversations. What I like to ask my guests in the beginning is, if you could capsule how you're feeling so far from the moment you woke up today to now, how can you capsule that for the people? They need to hear that. How are you feeling from the moment that you woke up this morning to right now? Can you capsule that?
I woke up feeling very excited today.
Okay.
Because I knew I was going to be here.
Let's go.
But, I've been starting more of a disciplined plan where I'm trying to eat better and everything. So woke up to an amazing meal, just a bunch of greens, protein, and got a bunch of stuff done, and then now I'm here.
We're here.
It's been a great day so far. So.
I love it. Positive energy only. This is what it is, man. This is what we live by. You feel me? So, I don't know if you know. I don't know if the world knows, but it's time for acknowledgement. I have a infamous segment that I do at the beginning of my show. It's called Kr Bow. Basically, I'm the Kr, you the bow. Okay. It's like a lightning round. What I have here is 10 words. And when I throw each word at you, I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. With each word. So like a lightning round. I'm the kr, you the bow.
Okay.
You ready?
All right, let's go.
Listen, I love the energy. I love the spirit. This is what
I may not be ready, but let's go.
Listen. It is what it is. We came to be legendary regardless. This is what it is. First one. Kr, bow. Happiness.
Love.
Explain, elaborate.
It's the key to happiness. It's the key to happiness. Without it, I mean, there's other things that make people happy,
Okay.
you know, but I think the root of it is love.
Love, okay. Love is the key to the door of happiness. Is it safe to say?
I think it's safe to say.
I'm just playing with words at this
Safe to
point.
say.
This is what. All right. Listen. Logical answer. Next one. Bow. Let me know if this name maybe it brings back memories to some. I don't know. Let me know. Bow. Pepper.
Salt and pepper.
Well, that was
the
amazing.
first thing that comes to
that
mind.
was amazing. That was
And you
amazing.
said I might remember. I'm like, I remember salt and pepper.
Now, what about the mayor of Skid Row?
Dang. Pepper. I've photographed him in the past.
Tell me a little bit about this individual.
He is really well known in Skid Row. He's been there for many years. He calls himself the mayor of Skid Row.
Let's go. Elect yourself, goddammit. It's what it is.
And he's still there, and he's a cool guy, and he's right there just watching all over Skid Row. First time I met that guy was maybe 10 years ago or so, but he's been in Skid Row for a very long time.
Okay.
One time I had a photo shoot in the LA River, under the quote-unquote river.
Okay.
And he was down there, and at that time, it was before they were demolishing the 6th Street Bridge.
Okay.
So the 6th Street Bridge is a very historical bridge in LA.
Right.
They filmed a lot of movies under it.
Right.
And they were going to demolish it. They said they found some cancer in the concrete, this and that, So they were telling everybody to leave that area under the bridge.
And that's his home.
Yeah. Where
To
he
an
stays
extent?
too, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know where exactly his home is, but I do remember seeing him there.
Okay.
The times I've gone down there for shoots,
Okay.
and he'd say hi, he'd be cool with me.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in a few years.
Okay.
He might remember me, I don't know.
Okay. But I seen an infamous picture. I'm over here using infamous because I already look at it like infamous, and it's so epic. Somebody you were with they were sticking middle fingers to each other, or something like that. That shit was amazing.
Chino Brown.
Tell me a little bit of backstory
He's a Chicano
of that.
rapper. One time I happened to be down there with a group of friends, and he
Okay.
was one of them.
Okay.
He's a Chicano rapper from LA.
Okay.
And we ran into him down there, and I don't know, I just wanted to take a picture of them speaking, but I didn't know they were going to end up doing that. I think he was trying to make Pepper leave us alone for a little while.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to remember clearly. I think we're trying to shoot photos. Maybe he was just interrupting too much. I don't remember. So I kind of got them like talking, and I don't know, they just ended up flipping each other off, and I took a photo of it.
I love that. Let's say we'll be on the screen because shout out to post production. That's amazing. I saw, as soon as I saw that picture, I was like, oh, okay, we need to talk about this at least briefly. But next one, we're gonna keep it moving. Bow, Tattoo Tuesday.
Ooh.
Talk to me a little bit about that. Give me the first thing that comes to your mind. Matter of fact, Tattoo Tuesday.
Black and gray.
All right, talk to me. Elaborate.
My favorite kind of tattoos are black and gray. I grew up with that style. Nothing against colored tattoos, but I love the way black and gray fades.
Okay.
So a very long time ago, I just started like doing just like an occasional series on Tuesdays, and show like some of my favorite tattoo photos.
Right.
I'm trying to get a lot of ink done myself.
Okay.
My money has been going on investments to my career, traveling and all these other things. And I'm like, you know what? Like this year, I really want to focus on finishing my arms,
Right.
just getting all these tats I want. I need to treat myself. So that's a little series, that started like years ago that I occasionally post on Tuesdays to just show off either a tattoo collector, someone with really cool ink on their body, or an artist. Or maybe sometimes a little story of myself, like little personal story of,
There you go.
like the story behind my tattoos.
Right.
The majority of my tattoos are all indigenous Mexican artwork.
Okay.
And if it's not, I try to find a way to incorporate it. Like I have a
Right.
camera tat on my neck.
Fire.
So I always have a camera on my neck.
That's amazing.
And, but I was like, well, how could I blend it with the rest of my Mexican tats? So I put an Olin for the lens, and an Olin looks like an eyeball,
Okay.
which basically means movement and passion. So and it's Mexican mythology from the Aztecs.
Okay.
So I pretty much just put that as the lens and boom, kind of Mexicanized it a little bit.
Mexicanized it is so fire.
It.
I love that.
So now it's gonna blend in with the rest,
I love that. I love that. Listen, you hear it here first. This is what it is. Next one. Let me know if this is an establishment that you may know, may not know. I don't know. Maybe you have purchased a few things. Pow, House of Spirits Liquor.
Oh, in Echo Park?
Echo Park
Oh,
Avenue.
man, I used to buy all my blunt wraps from there.
Talk to me. Is this an historic? Oh, well, that's amazing, first of all.
I think I bought more blunt wraps than beer, but I did buy a lot of beer there.
So this it's safe to say this is a historic place for your coming of age?
Well, we used to go there. I used to go there a lot. Well, first of all, one of my best friends, Gabby, did live like a block away from there.
Okay.
I worked in the Hollywood community for 10 years at some point up the street from there. But what always took me to Echo Park at that time when I was in Cali was the Echoplex.
The Echoplex.
Yeah, it's a venue that's right by it.
Okay.
There's an upstairs and downstairs, the Echo and the Echoplex. And they have really cool shows there.
Okay.
But I was a very loyal supporter of the Dub Club.
Okay.
Which is like the most popular reggae club there is. It's been going on for like many years now. And I've been going there for over a decade, like easily. And so House of Spirits was right there. We'd make our pit stops right there.
Come on
before
now.
going to the Dub Club to get all our wraps and go smoke all his weed at the Dub Club. And just dance to reggae. So, but I think they shut it down unless they reopened it.
I'm not sure.
Because I shot a photo of it like over a year ago, and it was all boarded up. And I don't know if they're renovating or not, so I haven't looked into it.
Let's hope the legacy continues.
Yeah, let's hope they reopened or something.
Next one. Pow, anxiety.
Stress. It's stress related. It's stress related.
What else can you say about that? Can you elaborate a little more?
You know what? Well, speaking of anxiety, I really didn't know too much about anxiety until I started curating events.
Wow, interesting.
Because, I mean, yeah, we would stress out about stuff, but I don't feel like the stress felt like anxiety at those times.
Okay.
Until I really started like curating events. They're pretty big. So it's a lot of work. I did pretty much most of it by myself, So I think that's when I started developing anxiety. It was just balancing time.
Right.
When your life picks up and you start getting busier and busier, it becomes a battle. And I think that's where my anxiety started. It's like, damn, how am I going to balance all this shit? Like,
right.
So, but breathing exercises, work a lot, drink a lot of water, try to get some rest.
Right.
But I think it's stress related, or maybe just people that worry too much.
Right.
Leads to anxiety.
I could dig it. Sounds like a logical answer to me. Next one. Pow. Now, we spoke about it briefly, but let's talk about it more. Pow. Photography.
Passion. That's my passion.
When can you say this passion, I guess, was activated in your journey? When can you remember?
Wow, let me tell you, I got into photography before I knew it was photography.
Okay.
So when I was a little girl, my family and I, we never grew up with money when I was a kid.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of us didn't.
Right.
But, times were rough, I never really knew too much when I was a kid what it was like to get surprises.
Wow.
Either because our family couldn't afford gifts or they just weren't good at surprising.
Okay, well, it's either one. It's either one.
You know what you're getting sometimes. It's like,
right,
I want to be surprised.
Yeah, right. There's a surprise element. Hilarious.
So I started snatching my father's camera. He had a, back in the day, we grew up with film, Right. He had a point-and-shoot camera at the pad, like, to use just for family occasions and whatnot.
Right.
He wasn't a photographer. Nobody in my family is, aside from me. So I noticed that whenever we would wait for the photos to develop, to me, it was always like this joyful feeling of waiting for the photos to be developed. And you're just anxiously waiting and happy to see how they look. You get the photos, and a lot of the times they created a lot of laughter because it's not like digital where you could see them right away, delete and redo. right there, if you did a fucked up face, you're gonna look funny. We're gonna laugh at you when the photos come in.
Literally, yeah. There's no editing. And you gotta wait for it. So there's some type of anticipation, like, oh, I don't know what the photos look like.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So that was the feeling that made me love photography before I knew it was photography.
Amazing.
So I started, snatching the camera, creating my own little photos. Because I loved the way it felt to see them. But I was so little. Like, really, I have a photo when I was like 3 to 4 years old that I shot in Mexico. And I still have that photo.
Amazing.
And I just kind of started shooting things where I thought just looked cool. Like, but I was so little. My vision definitely changed a lot.
Right.
From then to now.
For sure.
But it was that feeling that the photographs always felt like little gifts. Because they were. And then those were my surprises that I never received in other forms. I received them through photographs.
Amazing.
So I fell in love with the camera. It became my favorite toy. And I looked at it like that. Like, it was my favorite toy. And then by the time I was maybe like 11, 12 years old, I started paying more attention to magazines and TV, seeing dark rooms, I would always trip out on, like, New York being the place for photography when I was a little girl, because I would always see all these publications were out of New York.
Right.
So it's a trip to even be here, to have these little dreams when I was a kid, and then, like, just organically, like, boom, now I'm here. Like, I'm shooting the photos, and I'm doing this out here. So I just kept seeking the knowledge in photography.
Right.
Because I love the way the photographs made me feel. When you give someone a nice photograph of them, they're so happy that you give them a photo and they look like the shit, like they are, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a great feeling. Good photographs create happiness.
I love that.
And they also help to share stories.
I love that. I love that.
I fell in love with those feelings at a young age, and then it just evolved into making it a career,
Amazing. This is what it is. Logical, realistic, serious answers only. I love that. Now, the next one, you let me know if also there's some correlation to your childhood or maybe your life. I don't know. Crupao, Olvera Street. Did I say it correctly?
Yes, Olvera
Come on,
Street.
talk
La
to me.
Tacita Olvera.
Talk to me.
Street.
What does this location mean to you?
I love that location because, to me, first of all, it's in downtown LA, right in between Chinatown and Union Station, like right in the center of it. I mean, a lot of locals are over it, I'm not gonna lie. But then a lot of them aren't, because it's like, it preserves the Mexican culture, because once upon a time, LA was Mexico. That was all Mexican territory. It was part of the Mexican country.
Amazing.
And but it just eventually, it just separated and this and that. That's where a lot of places still have those names: Los Angeles, San Diego, and it was all part of Mexico at some point. So that area of Olvera Street, they still keep the culture alive. As a matter of fact, for a lot of people that don't know, when you go visit, the oldest house of LA is right there.
Wow.
And a lot of people don't know that, and it's basically like a self-guided little tour where you go inside and it's just like an old school Mexican home, Mexican furniture, like everything is there intact. And it's a little self-guided tour. You can see like how people used to live when it was Mexico. So that's why I love it, because I love my culture. I love my roots.
Right.
So, I love it for that reason.
Right.
Seeing all the Mexican culture there. But there's a lot of places in LA that offer that.
Right.
But that one has a lot of meaning.
Right. Is there a there's like a market there, right, where they like sell food and stuff like that?
Yeah, there is.
Now, did you help any family
strip.
members? You used to go there as a little girl helping?
No. No. You know what?
Talk to me. Let's go. Let's speak on it.
A lot of people hated downtown LA growing up.
Why is that?
Because it wasn't what it is now. We would go when we needed something. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, my brothers were both baptized at Olvera Street.
Wow.
On the same day, 2-for-1 deal.
Yo, 2 for 1. Let's go. 2 for 1. Baptizing is crazy.
The BOGO.
I love that. I fucking love that. So it was completely different. The way people perceived it was different than how people perceive it now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't really go to hang out.
Okay.
It wasn't a hangout spot. It was more to, like, buy what you need and just get out, Yeah, Olvera Street's always been nice, full of culture. But at the same time, it is in downtown.
Okay.
And our family, I mean, they don't want to take kids to be around a bunch of homeless people because that is a thing. It is a crisis in LA.
Okay.
It's so, and then just as a kid, you don't want to see them like, you know.
Right.
I wouldn't like seeing them when I was a kid. Like, what's going on with them, mom?
Right. I could dig it.
So yeah. So unfortunately, like, you know, even a lot of people I grew up with, like, it's like we would go if we needed something and get out.
Okay.
But now it's way nicer. It's way more safer than what it used to be.
Have they like gentrified it or something like that?
It's very gentrified.
Okay.
I mean, Olvera Street, they're still trying to preserve it, but the perimeter of it, you know, it's still going to have a lot of similarities as back then.
Right.
But a lot of it did get gentrified around it.
Right.
And I was living in downtown when that gentrification started, actually.
Okay.
So it was, it's getting gentrified a lot. But the homeless crisis ain't going anywhere.
Oh, man. This is what it is. Don't ask me how I know things. I do a little bit of homework. You feel me? I care about my guests. This is what it is. Next one. Bow. Dreams. What can you tell me about? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say dreams?
Infinite.
Elaborate a little bit.
Infinite. Dreams are infinite. Whether it's spiritually, mentally when you're asleep. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we dream about we don't even know about.
Very true.
You know, it's very infinite. And also just physically in life, you know, I don't like to have limits. Like, you know, you reach a goal, work on another one, you know, and just keep going and help other people build up too. It's nice to see people you believe in and then try to like elevate them. It feels good, you know? So dreams are very infinite.
I love that. What a great answer. This is what it is. Next one and last one. Now, give me the first thing that comes to your mind. First thing. Pow. From LA with love. First thing, Wendy. First thing. Just one word. Anything. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say unity? I love that. I'm very big on word association. I hear words, I read words, and they take me to places. So when I was doing my research and whatnot, I like how you worded this event of yours. You said, what I read, it was a West Coast themed lowrider car show experience in New York, infused with New York City's hip hop elements. Now, that was fire, first of all. Number one, very straight to the point.
Yes.
There's no confusion. But like I said, I attach myself to words. So I saw 3 words or 3 parts of this description that really, you know what I mean, really captivated me. West Coast, infused, and New York City. So I created a segment to celebrate the existence and the execution of your event, your endeavor from LA with love. So what I have here is a segment I created called Which California and New York City fusion would you rather go with? So what I have here, I'm gonna explain it. We here to win. We came to win. So what I have here is 3 tiers, and each tier I have boom versus boom. Right? You are to choose which one would you rather go with. So the theme is each boom is what I created in my ridiculous mind to be fusions of California culture and New York City culture. You'll get it as we go, but one thing you do have to understand is you have to choose one within each tier. Okay. And we have 3 tiers. So we're going to go with the first one. Right. The first one, we're going to start with food-related situations. So again, this is what I created in my ridiculous mind. Some of them are outlandish, but it's the fusion of California culture and New York City culture to celebrate the endeavor from LA with. Listen, we here to win. Shout out to excitement. Shout out to electricity. This is what it is. So we're going to start with the first one. It's food related. So I'm going to give you boom versus boom. You tell me which one would you rather go with.
Okay.
Number 1, a chopped cheese taco versus a bacon, egg, and cheese burrito. Now, one may exist, one may not. Listen, that's not the point. The point is to activate imagination. This is what, in my mind, I created.
I like that.
You know what I mean? You feel me? So the first one, let me say it again. A chopped cheese taco versus a bacon, egg, and cheese burrito. You are a tastemaker.
Yes.
So as far as like, I guess the fusion of California culture and New York City culture, which one would you rather steer towards?
I will definitely take the chopped cheese taco.
Explain
for
to me
sure.
why.
Because you know what? I got into bacon, egg, and cheese a lot in New York.
Right. Oh,
I like
yeah.
how convenient it is, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're just sold everywhere. It was
Pretty much.
great. But
Keep it real,
chopped
Wendy.
cheese, but you know, I mean, but chopped cheese is something that is, I know they're both just found in New York a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
you could make bacon, egg, and cheese, like, you know, like if you just want to be basic, whatever,
Right,
at
for
home.
sure, yeah.
But chopped cheese, though, like I got super into that out here. I had
Right,
to
right,
stop
right,
myself.
right.
And this was like
It gets out of
recently.
control sometimes.
And I was like, no, this is so good because just like the melty cheese with
Yeah,
the meat,
yeah,
that
yeah.
alone, throw it in a taco, let's go.
Right.
I'm
All
down
right.
for that.
All right.
Crispy or soft.
I love that. Chopped cheese taco sounds like a
I
revolutionary
think I'm
situation.
gonna try that. I'm gonna try it.
It sounds amazing. Next one. So you get how we doing this, right?
I love it.
You get it? All
Yes.
right.
Little
California,
hybrids.
New York's exactly. Checkmate. Shout out to the word hybrid. Second one. A New York Yankee rap on a classic 1964 Chevy Impala versus West Coast style graffiti on some Timberlands.
Damn.
You feel me? I have to activate my imagination for this
Yeah,
segment,
repeat that
goddammit.
first one.
I got you. No problem. A New York Yankee rap on a classic 1964 Chevy Impala versus West Coast style graffiti on Timberlands. Yeah.
I'd be sick to see West Coast graph on some tin.
Come on.
Shit would be dope
That'll be
as hell.
fire.
Shit would be dope as hell.
Now,
If
the
you're
Impala,
listening-
though. If you're listening, make it happen. Somebody make it happen.
Make it happen.
I think that should be super fire. But the Yankee
That's
raps,
so
again,
dope.
some of these are ridiculous. We came to be a little ridiculous. But a Yankee rap on a Chevy Impala.
That shit would look hard too.
I think it would look
honestly.
kind of
Shit would
crazy.
look
I
really
think it would be
hard,
look
too.
kind of hard.
It,
And
really,
again,
it will for sure.
you know what I mean? Fusion, hybrid, but which one as a tastemaker would you go with? You know what I mean? Yankee rap.
Damn. I mean, I love lowriders too, but like, I also love the graph scene in LA too as well. And then like to put it on like
Some
a
Timbs.
Tim that's like so New York.
So New York. It's a fusion like a motherfucker. I ain't
So
gonna
New York.
lie.
Yeah.
That's so you going with the Timbs? You going with
It'll
the
be fun to see
the
that.
West Coast graffiti
It'd be
style
fun to see that.
on some Timbs. This is what it is. This is what listen. We like to have fun here. We like to have fun. Last one. A Nas and Cypress Hill collab EP versus a Snoop Dogg and JayZ tour. It's crazy.
Ooh.
It's crazy. California and New York City fusion at its finest. Talk to me.
I would love to see Snoop Dogg and JayZ.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I mean, I love Nas too. I mean, that's a hard choice. That's a hard
dear.
choice. Really
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, for sure.
But damn, like, just I'm a huge fan of like all the old school. I mean, everything JayZ does is dope. Mm-hmm. And to me, when I hear like his old school sound, it's just dope. Like it's just like that lively but hard at the same time.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And just mixing that like with Snoop is like totally like the best of both worlds.
That
of
would be crazy.
representation.
Absolutely.
You know, because Nas is very New York too.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm looking at Jay's like old school JayZ, and if I was to have like old school Snoop,
Ooh,
ah,
that would be a crazy tour. Because
I would love
imagine
that.
the
I would
budget
love that.
where they're able to like make the stage like whatever they want. Like back in the day, the Chronic tours and shit like that, like they made the stage a liquor store and all that. Like they were going crazy. The budget was crazy back then. So I feel like that would be crazy. But you going with the JayZ and the Snoop Dogg tour.
that'd be kind of sick.
That would be
pretty
sick. But the Nas and Cypress Hills EP would
I
be
know.
very different, to say the least. It'll be very unorthodox.
That would be very different.
Very,
very
very
different. You know, and Cypress Hill was the first, I guess, hip hop group I ever saw live. You know,
oh, wow,
I started
okay.
going to their shows when I was like 14.
Wow.
I've been to a lot of their shows.
Amazing,
in Cali.
amazing.
I got to finally see them in New York, and then I recently saw them in Mexico City. So it's like I've officially seen them more than anybody.
I love that. That's amazing. But we're going with the Snoop and JayZ
Yeah,
tour.
yeah.
To me, that's an elite
It's so fun.
fusion hybrid of California and New York City. Now to speak about the endeavor, to speak about the journey from LA with love. Can you give me I guess a little backstory, you feel me, of, you know, how this came about?
Yeah, it's crazy because it honestly started with a very small idea.
Okay.
Like I said, I never knew I was going to be an event curator ever.
Okay.
You know, I thought I was just going to be a photographer all the time, sell my photos, do shoots, you know. And that's still going great and everything. But it all started when I had some friends from LA that were in town, like about 3 summers ago. The homegirl, DJ Essa, put me onto them. She said, hey, I got some friends from LA in town. They're taqueros. They sell tacos. And they're out there in New York right now, you know, taking it over there. They're doing pop-ups at breweries and whatnot. Amazing. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go meet them. You know, it was a little mission for me to get over there. Because there were like, was it Gowanus or what do you call it?
Oh yeah, like I think that's Red Hook, Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Gowanus
I don't know if I'm saying it right. But...
Gowanus, yeah, Gowanus Projects. Yeah.
I always imagine a whale, like a big whale. You want to name a whale
like
Gowanus?
A big fucking fish. For sure. I don't even like it. No. Listen. Shout out to Gowanus. I don't know. Listen. We love Brooklyn.
When
we love Brooklyn.
Like a big ass
so
whale.
You were traveling from what part of New York?
I mean, not that far. It's just because to me, I'm not used to like, you know, like being on super long train rides.
Yeah, it's the worst.
But I went out there. They were at a brewery, and I linked up with those taqueros. Right. And, like, they were cool people. They hooked me up with a big-ass box of tacos, like 30 of them. And so then it was... One of them was their first time in New York, you know. And I said, hey, if you guys aren't doing nothing tomorrow, maybe we could hang out, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we linked up the next day, and they were doing so well with their tacos out here because they were selling them at like LA prices, like 3 for $5 and shit. You know? So they had this line everywhere they went out here in New York, like, and they would sell out of tacos. He would just be done and chill. So when we linked up, I said, hey, you should come back. You know, maybe we could do like a little collaboration where maybe I could have a couple lowriders post up out front. Maybe I'll have some photos of lowriders, and you could be selling your tacos, and we'll do like a cool little like West Coast experience, you know, here in New York. He was all for it, you know. Shout out to Manny from Los Angeles Taco Company. He doesn't want to take any responsibility for it, but it sparked that idea in me a lot. Wow. You know, of him trying to come back, you know, and do tacos. I said, well, let's do this. And next thing you know, I started mentioning to people in New York, like, yeah, we're going to do this thing with the tacos and lowriders. People were like, why don't you have more lowriders? Why don't you do this? And like literally New York is the reason why this event became what it is. Because people really believed in me. People believed in me being able to bring a much bigger thing than just having tacos and photos. Right. And then next thing you know, in a matter of like a few weeks, the first annual From LA with Love happened. In a matter of a few weeks, I put everything together, like in less than 2 months. Amazing. And went out there, looked for a venue, got some sponsorships, and then next thing I know, and like he came back to sell tacos, and it was a big hit, you know, and then that's when I started incorporating all the stuff I love about New York, right? Which is graffiti and hip hop, you know. So it's like, to me, that's New York to me. Right. I love like, that. And I'm at the right place to see that, you know? Absolutely. And so, but being the fact that a lot of New Yorkers still haven't seen a lot of lowriders in person, people were really pushing me to do that. They're like, no, invite more cars. What if you could get more people? I brought it up to the lowrider guys I know, and boom, next thing I know, I registered 37 lowriders.
So this is what I wanted to ask. What is a day for Wendy Random look like for an event? Like, how are you contacting all these lowriders? Like speak to me a little bit about that. We spoke about the anxiety that it comes with, but paint the picture for the listeners and the viewers. Like, what does a 24 hours look like for you, you know, when you're trying to manifest all this and bring all this together?
When I'm in the middle of doing that, when it's like at the peak of organizing it, it's nonstop phone calls, lots of conversations, and just a lot of community, you know, because I have to I remember the first time I curated this event, I didn't know what to expect, but all I knew is that I need to reach out to everybody. I got a lot of calls to make. And I was like,
real.
If I have the connections, I'm going to connect it and put all the pieces together.
Amazing.
And I lost my voice.
Really?
Yes.
Because you made that many phone calls.
I made that many
talking
phone
that
calls.
much.
Yes.
I love that, though. That's the hustle right there.
I got so raspy and I lost my voice. And I was just like, damn, this shit's real. Like, I spoke that much.
Wow.
And I lost my voice twice doing this curation of the first annual one because I needed the help. I couldn't do it all by myself.
Right.
I needed to call everyone I knew from the lowrider community. And then among them, they were all very supportive and they wanted it to happen because they've always wanted it. You know, there's... You know, I mean, shout out to Lowrider Magazine. They do big things and they do things all over the country.
Right.
But New York doesn't have that, you know? And then there's a lot of people out here that know each other, that come together to go to each other's annual barbecues.
Right.
So the thing about it this time was to get them together to come to this event I was curating. And everyone just started helping out, making calls too. And boom, next thing you know, lost my voice, but...
Amazing.
But I reached out to as many people as I could, and then everyone came together. Then I started putting the graffiti together.
Right.
Shout out to Scrapyard, you know, and Spray Planet. They've definitely been very generous sponsors for these events. And, you know, and then I was like, well, I want to fly in like LA people to be part of this so we could really blend these cultures together. Let me bring some LA graph writers with the New York ones. Let me bring some LA headliners to like rap out here, and then some New York ones.
Absolutely.
And to me, what the beautiful part about it is the unity, which was I was mentioning earlier. Because to me, that's what I have in mind is I like people to meet,
right,
enjoy the cultures together, like, and it's just a trip, you know. Like I never knew I was gonna make an event out of subjects that I'm also passionate about,
right?
Things that I always photographed. But now it's just in an event, you know, and
amazing.
But it's a trip to see the cultures combining.
Yeah, no,
you know?
I think it's fucking amazing. What has the reception been from people that know you and know that you put the work in, or might not even know the work, maybe discovered you through the event, through word of mouth? What has been the overall reception that you've felt from the people?
I feel a lot of appreciation. Because even now, like if I go places and someone will introduce me as like, oh, she's the one that does this event, blah, blah. And then they want to get involved. Like it's really community driven. I'm humbled and grateful for everyone out here that really wants to help out because it's special. Like not like this isn't like done for me. Right. I go in debt doing these events. You know?
Talk about it.
Like big debts and I'm not mad about it.
Fuck no. We rolling the dice.
Like, you know, I'll recover from this. I'll be fine.
I love that.
And because it's the happiness I see in everybody, their appreciation, that's all that matters to me. You know, like maybe one day in the future I won't be in debt about it, and that's fine. But in the meantime, like it's beautiful. It's a beautiful process to see just how much people want to get together to build it, to make it happen. Like, you know, show the rest of the world New York got the lowriders too, you know? So I think that is what drives, especially the lowrider community a lot out here. You know, it's just like, you know, they're making their name out here too. You know, we're all doing it together.
Amazing.
So it's an awesome experience to be able to bring everyone out together. Amazing. And then engage the hip-hop community, because honestly, like, hip-hop and lowriders mix very well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they're in a lot of music videos.
100%.
So I think it's beautiful to see also the culture here, to like see all these lowriders at the same time and connect with each other. For sure. You know, they go hand in hand, and like it's beautiful.
It makes sense.
It's beautiful.
It makes sense. Now, what do you see in the future for From LA with Love? Like, to speak a little bit, let's speak some things into existence.
Yes.
What do you see in the future for this curation?
I see this becoming much bigger. Like, it's getting bigger every year.
Love it.
I look at it more like it's gonna turn into a huge festival, like Rolling Loud status. You know,
Talk
like,
that talk, Wendy.
I am serious. Like, I really want to do that.
Amazing.
You know, I really, especially because people want it to happen.
Yes,
like, you know, like I'm not the only one. Like, people inspire me. Like, when this event started happening, I was at a point in my life where, yeah, I've always loved photography. It's my biggest passion. But when you've been shooting since you're a kid,
Right.
like, not in an arrogant way, but sometimes it becomes difficult to get inspired, you know, like, where it's just like, I'm always going to keep shooting these photos, but it was a nice fresh of air that something new came into my life,
Right.
where I could still incorporate the subjects I photographed, but now into like an event. And it came at a time where I really needed it, where I kind of just felt like I was starting to lose inspiration,
Right, okay,
you know,
okay.
like,
That's real.
because I feel like, I don't know. Like I said, I've been shooting since I was a kid, and I still love it. It's what I want to do for the rest of my life. But I was just like, I need something that's gonna spark me. Like, what have I not done and seen? Like,
That's real.
you
That's
know.
real.
And all of a sudden, boom! Like, this shit just started blowing up. Like, let's go. And then like, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to tackle something different now. But it's still gonna incorporate a lot of photography regardless. And so I really wanted to grow into really bigger things like that, where we're gonna have bigger acts from LA too, like bigger lineups. I mean,
For sure.
you know, like it would be dope to have Cypress Hill come out. You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. That would be amazing.
Like, so it would be sick to have that with a lot of, like the New York community, and just
Amazing.
because that's something I always loved about New York, is just how hip hop came from here.
Right.
And the freestyles I'm a huge fan of.
Okay.
I always have been.
Right.
You know, since I was a
right.
kid and I would see that shit on TV, like, it's like, that's fucking dope. So
Amazing.
And, and just seeing people like talk shit to each other in really clever, artistic ways, yet it's humorous too sometimes.
Absolutely.
It's so entertaining. I fucking love it, so... And I love that it's alive and well here in New York, And
Big
so I
facts.
love throwing that in the mix because how could you not be New York hip hop without doing all these badass freestyles?
Right.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, you speak it into existence. It sounds like a calculated and a passionate artistic mission. You feel me? I see the bright future in it. You feel me? So this is what it is, from LA with love. Everything will be in the description as far as the social medias and everything that the people need to see in regards to this curation. It's a beautiful thing. We came to win. Now, let's talk about some of the things that you brought. As I take a picture of one of these things one by one, tell the people what they see on the screen, because they will see it on the screen. What are we looking at right now? This is the one we're looking at. What are we Tell the people what they're looking at.
The smaller one is the zine. It's my very first zine. There's only 100 made, so they're signed and numbered, limited edition. It has years of content that I've shot of lowriders around the world. It has photographs I've shot in Paris, Colombia, of course, LA, Chicago, New York. So there's a lot of content in there, and it's like my stepping stone to me building up for a book in the future, because I do want to do a book in the future. I know I have a lot of years under my belt to do this, but when the time's right,
Amazing.
Just like this event, when the time's right, I'll go ahead and make that book. So, yeah, it has Miami in there as well. So it has a lot of cities in there.
I love it. I love it. This is what it is. This is what we came to do. Second one, what do they see on the screen? Talk to them.
And that is my calendar that I print out every year. This is my third year printing it. It's basically lowriders I've shot across the country, and every year I feature one car from out of the country. So this year it has France, and it's very unique, because I actually take thought into every month that goes in there. So, for example, like March right now, I have a photo of Queens, a lowrider photo.
Let's talk about it.
And the reason why there's Queens in March, and that photo with the Queensboro Bridge, is because it actually opened up in March. And then in April, you see Fenway Park in Boston, and Fenway opened up in April. So
Calculated.
I put a lot of thought into it. They're very thoughtful, you know, they mean a lot to me. And everything is just chosen carefully, you know, with, you know, Cinco de Mayo has
Cinco
a big
de
ass
Mayo.
Mexican flag.
Let's go.
And that was shot here in Manhattan. So, and the lettering is done by Tommy Cyclone.
Shout
you
out.
see on the cover, badass tattoo artist from Cali. He designs all that lettering. And the graphic design was by my boy Kevin Cifuentes. He is actually a big West Coast lover from Queens.
Love it.
Who actually, we did some collaborations before I lived in New York.
Okay.
I flew out here to do like some chola modeling with him.
Okay.
And now, you know, someone that started as a fan and supporter is now one of my colleagues, you know? So I love being able to put people on that, you know, it's all about us wanting to grow together.
Absolutely.
You know, and those are the first people I turn to, you know, put on.
Absolutely. Shout out to Unity. I think Unity is the theme of this interview. I love that. I love that. Now, explain to me what's on the screen.
This photo was shot last year.
Let's go.
And it was a quinceañera. I don't know the girl so well. But it's in the summer of last year. The lowrider community invited me out to the quinceañera, the full thing, but I just went out to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay.
Because I mean, I never had a quinceañera. It's basically, you know, like a Mexican Sweet 16.
For sure. Shit's lit.
You know, my mom wanted me to have one, but I actually didn't want one.
Okay. All right.
I have always been that kind of person where I don't care to have attention.
I dig it.
But now it's like you work hard, you're going to get it. So
Absolutely.
I'm just going to have to learn how
That's
to
the beautiful
live with it.
Yeah, it's the irony in life. It's the irony for sure.
So I went out and I shot this photo. The owner of that car, his name is Juan Lara.
Okay.
He's from Mexico. He lives out here.
Love it.
And he has a really beautiful car. You know, it's a Caprice. I've shot his car at Times Square before. And so we were just there doing some photos of the quinceañera before they went out to the party. So
amazing.
That's the backstory behind that. I thought it was cool to capture, like, I never thought I would see, like, I mean, it's cool to see Mexican culture in New York.
Absolutely.
Because I'm used to seeing palm trees in the background for everything, you know? So being out here to see, like, this is the Brooklyn Bridge.
The Brooklyn Bridge.
This is dope.
This
like,
picture
I'm
has...
going to go out there just to shoot that.
This pic has so many layers. So many layers to it. It's just like, this pic itself is a conversation. We could do 2 hours on this picture, I feel. It just speaks volumes. But listen, we got to go to the next one. So next one. Tell the people what they see on the screen. Shout out to post-production. Talk to me.
This photo was shot before I lived in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was out here visiting, and when I was in LA, I documented a lot of different things. Actually, people out there recognize me more for being in the cuts on some grimy situations.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, I went down and hung out with Pepper before.
Listen, you gotta take chances out here, man. You gotta take chances.
Yeah, so I was out here, and I had never been to Harlem before.
Okay.
You know, so basically, I had a friend that was from Queens. And I said, well, you know, if you want to document some street shit,
right?
I know someone in Harlem that, you know, he's a blood. And if you want, like, I can link you up with him. But he's actually cool people. Like, he turned activist, and now he's all about flipping the community.
Amazing.
So I linked up with him. His name is Branche. And he was really cool people. And I remembered, like, seeing posts about him before I met him. He was just advocating a lot about, like, Nipsey Hussle's death and everything.
Wow.
And I saw him, like, leading some protests out here.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, this is a pretty interesting person to meet. You know, he's out here flipping, you know, the community, trying to do positive things. And
right.
So I linked up with him on 125th Street. I think we linked up in in front of the Apollo Theater.
Legendary.
Yeah, and then and that was my first time in Harlem, you
Amazing.
know. So I was by myself. It was daytime. I felt fine, you know.
Right. The energy over there is crazy.
Yeah,
It's electric.
yeah, it really is. Definitely, you know, all the boroughs have their own little vibe, you know.
For sure. But 125th Street
yeah,
is a very unique,
some nows.
a unique situation.
Yeah,
very unique, amazing. I mean,
and so we started walking together, you know, and literally within a 5-minute walk together, like so many people showed him respect on like just that little walk that we did. And I was just like, it's pretty active around here.
amazing.
It's fucking 2 p.m. and shit. Like,
Amazing.
it's active as fuck on this block.
Hell yeah.
But I was with a good person, you know, and it was nice to, my first introduction to Harlem was with him.
Okay.
And, you know, we came across this mural and I said, you know what, it'd be nice to take a picture of you here. You know, this is an empowering mural.
Absolutely.
It speaks volumes. And I would like to take a photo of you because I like to document a lot of street art as well, you know, especially stuff that makes statements. So it was nice to put it all together. And that's how this photo came about.
Amazing. This is what it is. It's what we came to do. Next one. Next picture. I think we spoke about this one briefly, but it don't hurt to talk about it more.
Ooh.
All right. Tell the people what they see on the screen. This is Queens, correct? This is
That's
the
in
Queensboro
Queens.
Bridge. Now, you said this picture made it to the calendar, correct?
Yes, this is March right now. It's March.
Amazing.
And what makes it even better is, so shout out to Angelo, the owner of that Continental. He actually is from Queens.
Amazing.
Yeah, so out of a lot of and actually this photo was actually part of an assignment that I did for the Sampler and Five Borough Brewery.
Okay.
So shout out to the Sampler, have always been super supportive, you know, of everything that I do. So we were gonna do a solo show. I had a solo show at the Sampler before where he incorporated Five Borough Brewery. And they said, well, what if you shot a lowrider at every borough?
Ooh.
And I was like, and this was, you know, I was like, you know what? That's great. Like, give me something to do so I could go do it.
I love that.
So, and it was great because I started thinking about it. It was a nice assignment to have because I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No.
I've never seen anybody like do all 5 boroughs. And so to me, that made me feel very special to have that opportunity and to have that push of inspiration to go out there and tackle it. And so I reached out to him, Angelo, and it turned out that he was from Queens. So it was perfect. Like, you know, he was the Queens representation of this assignment. And we just drove up to the grass there.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how does this work? How does that work? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, just explain it to the people. Explain it to me. Like, how does this work?
I
just driving a lowrider into the grass.
I trespass a lot. I'll be honest. I trespass a lot for a lot of photos that I do. I think a lot of it comes from my graffiti background.
Okay.
But I do it with lowrider shoots too. Like in Paris, we trespassed by the Eiffel Tower. We weren't supposed to be there, but we drove a car in there anyway. Shit. So here, I got lucky. Story behind it is that I got very lucky because Angelo happens to be a firefighter. Okay. You know, and he happened to speak to some of the people that were working there at the park and said like, hey, like we want to pull up right there real quick, you know, and shoot this photo. And they're like, well, just make it quick.
Make it quick.
You know,
Sounds so quick. New York. Just make it quick.
Make it quick.
Make it quick. I swear, that's so New York. Like, it's like a yes, but it's like a make it quick yes.
Yeah,
like,
yes, but hurry.
Yes, but hurry up. I love that. I mean,
and that was dope. I love this photo. I love that it represents Queens.
Absolutely,
you know?
absolutely. I mean, like this photo is so vibrant. Like you got the bridge right there. The grass is so green. You got the water. You got Manhattan on the other side, and then you just got the low rider just cooler than the other side of the pillow, like just chilling. You know what I mean? I love that. Next one. Tell the people what they see on the screen.
Oh.
Come on, let's go. Let's speak on it. What is this? What can you say about this? This looks like an experience that you experienced. So talk to me.
This was at a elementary school in Southside Chicago.
Wow, amazing.
I did a presentation to the children there. Something that I always wanted to do, and something I want to keep doing, just to put that out there. If any schools out there want to have me, push some inspiration to the kids, I'm all for it.
Let's go.
So, so this was a school in Southside Chicago. I created a little slideshow of photos I've shot around the world. And I got some Polaroid cameras, broke out the kids in groups, and they all had a Polaroid. Just gave them all little assignments, to like do portraits of each other and this and that. And basically, I went in there and shared a little bit of my background and just pushed them to, it's okay to be different. Because me growing up, I never had support. So I'll be real. I didn't have support from my family growing up like that.
That's real.
Because there's nobody in my family making a career out of art. I'm the first one on both sides of my family. Something brand new, I'm first generation American. So being an artist is like unheard of in our families,
right.
So I've always been passionate about photography, but I never received that support growing up. It's more like, mejor vete a estudiar, go study.
God.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, I tried, but it's just like my heart was in photography all the time.
Amazing.
So I do notice also with like just friends in general or other really established artists I know, like a lot of them have a very good support system. And it's nice to see like children that are encouraged at a young age because they could go way further. Support is a lot, especially when you're growing up.
For sure.
So this day was very special to me, and I'm actually in the process of doing something for a group of girls here in New York soon.
Amazing.
So I could also talk to them while being a female, in a male-dominant art environment,
For sure.
So basically, I just went in here and pushed them, like it's okay to be different. It's okay if your family doesn't understand you. It's okay if nobody even supports you. If you love something, just love it and keep doing it. And I just kept pushing that in there. And then next thing you know, one of the little boys in that classroom the next day, and for there on, he started showing up with the camera around his neck.
I love that.
And that was so beautiful to me. I was like, you know what? It really does take if you could just change one person, like it's okay. And that's...
Amazing.
It's a beautiful feeling. I hope I could do it to more kids because I love that.
Let's go. This is what we came here to win. I got some stars. Listen, we got some superstars in the room. This is what it is. Next one. Tell the people what they see on the screen.
Oh.
Tell the people
so cute.
what
You
they
picked such
see.
awesome photos.
This is what we came to do. What are the people looking at?
Oh, so
this is an amazing picture.
Thank you. This photo was shot in South Central, a long time ago. I don't know, maybe maybe 10 years ago,
Wow.
8 years ago. I don't know. It's kind of old.
Wow.
And these are my friend's kids. Sight, my friend Sight. He's a graph writer from LA that has a lot of respect out there. Actually, and when I shot this is so cool because I don't think I've shared like the deep story behind it.
Let's go. We here. Let's go.
Yeah. So I went out this day. These are the Slauson tracks. So that street you see behind the kids is Slauson, and it runs through South LA. And those are the Slauson tracks. And the direction the kids are facing, there's like just a bunch of graffiti burners right there from a South Central crew called RTN, Rocking the Nation, old school, like South Central. They started there from what I know.
Right.
Graph crew. And I was there to shoot photos of my friend Sight, who had a piece on that wall that actually got featured in the NWA movie.
Amazing.
So I shot this movie like around the time the NWA movie came out. So whenever that was,
right.
That's when I shot this photo. They show his piece in the movie.
Amazing.
But my friend Sight has a really big history with his graph. He was locked up for like over 6 years over graph.
Wow.
So it was just a way of me showing respect to him. Like, he's a good friend, a great guy.
Right.
Very positive, motivational speaker now with people.
Amazing.
And So it was just like I wanted to go honor him at that moment. Like, you came a long way. You were locked up for years over some graph shit.
Right.
But I don't know. So, and he's from here. So
amazing.
I was, let me just do a photo shoot of you. But then I turned around, I saw his kids and his little boy with the In-N-Out hat, so Cali,
I love this.
And I just turned around. This photo happened real quick. I just said, say cheese. Cheese.
Oh my god.
That's it. And then I went back to my photo shoot, like started doing
amazing.
And it's a beautiful photo. I love it. A lot of people love this.
This photo screams innocence.
It does.
Innocence.
It does, because it is.
Yeah, absolutely. They just look so like just like
high off life.
Yeah, no worries, no
worries.
nothing. Just following. Say cheese, boom, smiling.
I know, so cute. And I wasn't expecting them to like really oblige like that. Like.
Oh no, they're radiant in
So
this
I
picture.
love this
Very,
photo.
very radiant. The smiles speak volumes. This is what it is. Yeah. All right, next and last one. I chose some good pictures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love your selection.
Last one. Tell the people what they see on the screen.
Oh.
Tell the people what they see on the screen.
That's me in Zacatecas, Mexico.
Amazing.
Visiting my dad's side of the family. These are relatives I don't even know.
It be like that.
Yeah, it be like that. We got a huge family.
It be like that.
So many cousins I still don't know.
Now, what are you holding in your hand?
It's the camera.
Amazing. Talk to me.
And that was the first camera. I don't even remember what kind of camera that was, but that was the first camera that started it.
Amazing.
Because I started seeing, like how much fun it brought whenever we would look at photos. So then that's when it started to become my favorite toy.
Amazing.
When, and then there was this trip that I shot that photo I was telling you about earlier. Mm-hmm. I have a photo I shot in Mexico when I was 3 to 4 years old.
Right.
I was with that camera and I was just already into it, so intrigued by cameras, because to me at that time, I only looked at it like an amazing toy. Like what other toy does this?
Right.
What other toy is gonna capture something that, like, you don't even have to paint it? I love people that paint, but that's not me. I don't do that. So it's
real.
like you capture a photograph, it's like much quicker.
Absolutely.
So, and you're just creating your own little postcards. But yeah, this photo was shot in Mexico. I think I was like 3 to 4 years old. I was a big girl. I was always like really tall and big for my age when I was a kid.
Right.
And yeah,
as far as that camera,
how it started.
Do you know anything about that camera? Whose camera that was? Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that was my dad's camera.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think that's the one he took to the trip to take pictures of us in Mexico.
Amazing.
That wasn't my first time in Zacatecas. I remember being like, I have a really weird, brief memory of being like 2 years old and sitting on my grandpa's lap, and he tried to give me Corona, and my mom stopped him.
Oh shit!
And
I love that. I love you. Un poquito.
Try it.
Amazing.
And that's like the only memory I have.
Listen.
So that was like my second time going back to Mexico, Zacatecas specifically. And that was my last time going there, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family, sadly, I haven't gone back. But my mom's side, we still visit.
Right. Okay. Listen, from this picture, it seems like the camera being in your hand was just destined to happen, I guess. You know what I mean? I mean, this picture speaks volumes. This is what it is. This is what we came to do. Legendary talk only. Now,
I hope you chose that.
Come on, listen. This is what we do. I came here to put the superstar qualities and the superstar narrative on display for the people, because the people gotta hear it, they gotta see it, and they gotta feel it. This is what it is. So, as we are gearing towards the end of the show, let me ask you, how are you feeling so far? As far as how can you capsule your feeling right now?
You make your guests feel special.
You feel me? This is what it is. Absolutely. I'm glad you feel that way.
I feel appreciative, to be able to share my story, and it's nice. I feel special thanks to you.
Of course. And I feel special that I made you feel special, because that means the execution is where it needs to be. You feel me? We making it happen. Now, I have 2 more segments as we are gearing towards the end of the show. Let's knock on wood. It might get a little dark.
Ooh.
It might get a little dark. So, you make your way to the doctor, right? You get to the office. Doctor says, Wendy, come inside, close the door. Off rip, you're already looking at Doc like, bro, don't tell me what to do. Like, that's crazy. Of course I was going to close the door, stupid. He's like, yo, Wendy, take a seat. At this point, Doc, you telling me close the door, take a seat. What you want me to do, take your fucking kids to school? I'm going to take a seat. I wasn't going to stand, idiot. So you take a seat. I got to paint the image. Goddammit. So you take a seat. The doctor says, listen, Wendy, I have a lot of patience. I gotta get straight to the point. You're like, all right, you're making me nervous. Let's get straight to the point. You got 24 hours to live. You got 3 things on your bucket list. The last one has to be a crime. So the first 2 could be whatever you choose it to be. It could be career related, family related, any just you got. Listen, you got 24 hours to live. I'm sure you want to do some things that mean the world to you. You feel me? So the first 2 things can be whatever it is that you choose. The last one has to be a crime. So what's the first thing on your bucket list? 24 hours to live.
Damn. Okay. So I would tell my family how much I love them.
Let's go.
Definitely let everyone know what they meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be my priority.
Let's go.
Yeah, just heavily. I would do that.
All right.
Second, I would probably just, I don't know, like, I'm gonna give my money away.
All right, okay, all right.
Because I want you to die, so give it to someone.
Okay, well, that makes sense. All right.
Definitely try to have as much fun as you can, 24 hours. Definitely spend it with your loved ones. I'll probably shoot some photos. These are my last photos I'm going to take,
Okay, all right.
So, yeah, maybe do something like that.
I love that. So the first one, family-oriented.
Yeah.
Second one, we're giving money out and we're doing some career-related.
Just give everything away, basically.
I love that.
Give everything away.
That's amazing. Listen, it's realistic answers. 24 hours to live. What do you expect? This is what it is.
Yeah.
Last one, I need a crime.
I'll finally rob a bank.
Okay.
And then give that money back.
I love some real Robin Hood shit. This is what it is. So you robbing the bank. Now, do you have a team of people in mind? You're not saying no names. But this has to be an operation that can't just be just you. You feel me? So do you have any teammates in mind? Do you have any people? You don't have to say no names, but...
I know. The part that makes it tricky is that they can get caught. Because I'm the guy and they're going to be fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
So do I want to leave that to someone? Because even if you're just the driver of the car, you still get accused, like the person that ran in there.
You're an accomplice.
So...
For sure. Yeah. You can't just be the driver and because you don't tell the cops you're an Uber driver for a bank robber. No, it don't work that way. You a part of it.
Yeah, so that might be kind of hard, because I'm like, damn, but I mean, I'll ask people, like, hey, who's down?
Hey, yo, who's down?
Who's down?
Like, yo, I'm about to clock out. Yo, you with it to rob a bank with me?
It's my last 24 hours. Come on, who's down to get
I love that. So the first one, we did family-oriented energy. Second one, we giving money out, career-related decisions. And the last one, the crime, we robbing a bank. Yes. I appreciate you so much, Wendy, for pulling up. You know what I mean?
Too.
Being honest, being real, being vulnerable, helping me tell your story to the people. This is really what it is. This is what we came to do. Corrupted conversations. First place trophies only. We don't do second place. We don't do third place. We don't do fourth place. We don't do participation trophies. That's blasphemy. Don't ask for me. You heard? This is what it is. Henry Blanco, Corrupted Conversations. To now really end the show. This is the one to me that I feel like is the cherry on top. If you had one word to describe the next 5 years of your life, what would it be? Now, the reason I say 5 years, I feel like it's close enough to call it, far enough to activate imagination. So if you had one word to describe the next 5 years of your life, what would it be?
Discipline.
Ooh, that's okay. Explain why. Elaborate.
Because I want my future to be like that.
Okay.
I'm kind of already plotting, because without it, people struggle. Mm-hmm. Really, that's all it takes to get a lot of things done. I mean, it's just like being focused. So, I mean, I was going to say focused, but I think disciplined is definitely more of a challenge,
Right.
Than being focused, because being disciplined means cutting off a lot of things that don't serve you well, things that are not going to help you elevate, grow, so it requires a big discipline
Right.
to succeed in anything,
Absolutely.
to grow. So to me, that's like my main focus. I just want to be very disciplined, especially now this year that, I did my second annual lowrider event. It does require so much discipline. And I learned that with these events. I learned that about myself, like without it, I'm not gonna be able to achieve a lot. So I try to work on that, and there's a lot of people that may not understand, might trying to pull you down, pull you
Right.
away from it. There's a lot of distractions out there,
Hate it.
but discipline will get you there. So just be disciplined.
I love that. I love that. That's a realistic answer, logical answer. It's just what it is. I had the privilege to be part of the second one, correct? The second
Yes.
annual From LA with Love. Me and Retrospect. Shout out to Retrospect.
Yes.
We contributed our energy to helping host the Cypher series, which was amazing. I was in awe just seeing all the cars and the culture just thriving in a location that's not necessarily the origin, in the sense of like, this is New York City, so you
Right.
brought something over here that, like, I feel like just like it made me feel like I was where it comes from. You know what I mean?
that's awesome.
And then I reaching out to me to Retro and just having all the artists that was in the mix and the New York elements that you envision being unified with what the LA culture is. I feel like, what I'm saying, as a person that was part of it, I loved it. It was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I see big, beautiful things in the future for it. You feel me? And that's why I feel like discipline is probably the greatest word for it as far as your journey. One, because you said it. So if you said it, you mean it. You already know. And number two is because, this event, the one that it looked like you had a lot on your plate. You had a lot on your plate.
I sure did.
From the cars to
did.
the performers to even there was cars that were coming in at a certain times where the certain cars had to move. It looked crazy. It looked like
so
a
much
lot.
work, yeah.
And discipline, being disciplined, I could see that being the ultimate foundation of getting something like that done.
Definitely.
You know
helps.
what I'm saying? So this is what it is. This is what we came to do. Corrupted Conversations. Yet another episode. Some golden shit. Golden dialogue. Epic, elite conversations only. Again, Wendy, thank you so much for pulling up. Thank you so much for helping me make this happen, as far as putting your narrative out there and just the culture that you're trying to unify, and X, Y, and Z, and it feels amazing. You know what I mean? Any last words to the people on the closeout? Any last words?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who has ever been part of this. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody that loves to see this grow, loves to be part of it. And I thank everybody that helps out. Everybody. There's so many people to list. But I just
Y'all all know who you are. You know who you are.
And I appreciate you so much for helping this whole culture grow out here and bringing the unity, most importantly. So thank you.
I love that. Listen, this is what it is, man. Legendary dialogue only. Corrupted Conversations. Wendy, again, for the third time, thank you so much for pulling up. This is really what it is. Henry Blanco, again, Corrupted Conversations. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting, sharing, liking, commenting. Send this shit out to the world. We're trying to get the content out to the world. This is real. Well, listen, it is content. I like that word. But this is just a real documentation.
Yeah.
We documenting not only the journey of a person, of an individual, but the accolades, the work that's already been done, what's to come, the vision, the conversation, the energy, the electricity. This is what it is, motherfucker. I get hype. I'm about to do a backflip right now. This is what it is. Corrupted Conversations. Until next time. Bow.